Down you go. That's it. Well done. So that's how we practice the long barrier method. Jonty, when the guy hits the ball at you firmly and you want to run him out, what do you do now in order to make sure that the ball doesn't go past you?
Well, even though I'm coming in quickly, I've still got to get a part of my body behind the ball, behind the line of the ball. So what I do is get the dominant leg again behind the line of the ball and open myself up here so I can get a quick release, pick up the ball and get a quick release again. But it's very important to keep one part of your body behind the ball.
Okay, so you're turning sideways, but you've got the inside of the foot behind the line of the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and see the guys practicing that now. Ready, guys? Off you go, back there. Okay, ready? Let's roll the ball and turn, pick it up and throw it back. Well done, very good. Excellent. Come back again, let's try that again. And attack the ball. Well done, and throw. Well done, well fielded, very good. All right, let's change around and see the other team doing it, okay? Group A, come and do it. Okay, ready? And roll. Turn sideways and throw. Very good. Jonty, the modern game demands that you throw with speed and accuracy. How would you advise a youngster to start doing that?
Well, first of all, you need a solid sort of platform and a good foundation for balance and for power. So your legs got to be slightly braced apart. The accuracy part comes in from pointing. You actually are pointing. You're aiming with your leading arm, your front arm. And then the arm that throws has actually come down in the same line. There's no good throwing from wide. If you point, you actually want your arm to come from over top of the shoulder and down that same line that you are pointing. That's where the accuracy comes from. If you're throwing from wide like that, you lost your accuracy.
Being right-handed, Jonty turns his left shoulder towards the ball. His right foot turns at right angles to the line of the ball, two hands together, fingers pointing down. As he rises, he turns his front hip and shoulder towards the target, points his front arm at the target and releases the ball along that line. Next, Jonty chases the ball and, without stopping, goes down on his left knee, sliding as he collects the ball, stops himself with his right foot, the momentum causing the body to rise off the ground. He aims, jumps and throws. This technique is relatively new to the game. Watch Jonty carefully and try to copy his technique. There are many coaching manuals which will tell you all the fielding positions in which to cover these particular areas. But I think there's probably an easier way in which to teach this. Let's go and have a look. What I've done is set up all the fielding positions in what I call the inner ring. Those are shot saving one and two catching positions at gully and point. Okay, let's go and see what happens. Okay guys, when I clap my hands, I'm going to say a name of a fielding position. I want you to get there as quickly as possible. Right-handed batsman, okay. All right, you ready? Mid wicket. Good. Okay, well done. Okay, come back again. Well done, we'll do one more. Okay guys, ready? Mid off. As we've seen, fielding is a very vital part of cricket. And here we have 4 structured games which will progress from a small underarm game in order to help teach what happens in the middle and to create a lot of enjoyment. Okay guys, right, let's see first at the underarm game. In the first component, we show the underarm throw to the bowler's end, with 2 players at the bowler's end and the rest 15 metres away. The first bowler underarms the ball along the ground to his team and runs to the back of that group. The first fielder picks up one-handed on the run and firmly throws the ball underarm to the second bowler, whom he then joins. The ball, get nice and low, pick it up, throw it in clean, that's it, well done. Good. Let's move on to the second game, all right? Okay, in our groups of 4 now, okay? Groups
We
of
now
4.
expand the game from 2 groups to 3. Backward square leg, cover point and mid-on, with 2 sets of stumps 20 metres apart. Either the coach or the wicket-keeper will be at the batsman's end. Start the game by rolling the ball to backward square leg. They will then underarm the ball at the target, in this case the 2 cones. Cover point backing up will collect the ball and then attempt to throw down the stumps at the bowler's end. Mid-on will back up this throw and return it to the wicket-keeper. The keeper gives the ball to the coach and the game continues. To increase pressure and proficiency, use more than 1 ball.
Stumps there. Okay, let's move into our last game in 3s. 3 here, 3 here, 3 by the stump there, and 3 there. Well done.
For the final phase of this game, add 1 more group at extra cover, behind a single stump. So you will now have a pattern like this. Underarm to backward square leg, who underarms through a target to cover, who then throws to extra cover over the top of the stump, who has to catch it. He then shies at the stumps at the bowler's end, and mid-on returns the ball to the wicket-keeper. This one fielding game incorporates the majority of fielding skills and, when mastered, will greatly improve this aspect of the team's performance.
And over here, that's it. Well fielded, well done. Through the cones, well done, underarm. That's it.
Fitness has become a vital part of cricket, especially with the modern one-day game. And with me I've got Paddy Upton, University of Cape Town, biokinetic expert who's looking after the South African side. Paddy, why do we have to get fit for cricket?
In the past, cricketers used to play to train for cricket, and with modern lifestyles becoming more sedentary and the demands of modern cricket being greater, cricketers are needing to train to play. As I see it, there are 3 fundamental aspects in preparation for cricket, particularly for someone who's striving for success. That is physical preparation, mental preparation, and of course the skills side of things. A player who is lacking in physical fitness and suffers premature tiredness could well, his skill and his mental side of things could well suffer as a result of that.
Imagine, Paddy, that you've got a young side, a young club side or a young school side. How would you warm them up 45 minutes before the game started?
There is essentially only one correct way to prepare for a cricket match the morning before. We start this with an aerobic activity or a general warm-up, which consists of running, kicking the feet up to the back, kicking the knees up, running side to side, the usual things that we see. The purpose of this is to basically get a blood flow to all the working muscles that we're going to then stretch. Following this aerobic part of the warm-up, we go to what we call the joint rotation part of the warm-up. We will roll the neck, roll the shoulders, the hips and the ankle, and this we'll demonstrate a bit later because there are also incorrect ways of executing those. We follow this by a stretching routine, which is also very specific. There are a lot of incorrect ways. Again, there's only one correct way, which we will discuss. And then only following this warm-up and stretch do we then move into what we call a sports-specific warm-up, which would entail the bowlers bowling, the fielders catching, and the batters batting.
Quite often, Paddy, there's a gap between when the toss is made and between the start of the game. Would you warm them up again, or what would you actually do during that period?
In that period, what one would do, you'd engage in what we call a sports-specific, as I mentioned, warm-up. So if a bowler were to bowl, he would in fact go and bowl. If a batter were to bat, he would bat, and just make sure he maintained his stretched state.
Okay, let's go and see Paddy demonstrate the rotation and stretching routines.
Okay guys, we've been through the aerobic part of the warm-up. Now we're going to go to the joint rotation part of the warm-up. We start with the shoulders, with the arms out at the sides at shoulder width, elbows locked, small circles forwards. We do this increasing the size of the circles. The reason we start with small circles is to warm the smaller muscle groups up first. We get that up to full size. Once you completed that, we do the same thing in the reverse, small circles backwards, building up to larger circles. Once we've done that, palms up, we pull our hands behind our head as far as we can, keeping the hips facing forward. We want to feel the stretch in the chest. From here, we move into palms down, and we do the same stretch, except with hands shoulder height. Right, we move on to the trunk. We're going to do the trunk rotations, feet shoulder width apart, hands on the sides, and we do our trunk rotations across the front and to the side, across the front and to the side. Right, we only do it across the front. We never ever do it round the back because it can cause injury to the lower back. Right, we've done the shoulder rotations to the warm